guys? Fishing at nighttime, Spillway. Time to go get some monsters. I know my quality won't be very good because it's nighttime. And I'm too broke to afford a really good camera that can see as good as I can. But here's what I'm using. My favorite swim baits, just smaller. These swim baits work so well. As you can see on this hook, they've already chewed off the swim bait because it's that good. Just gonna put that in my bag to dispose of later. And put this one on. Let's see what we can catch. Basically, I'm just pitching this little green swim bait right next to the wall and seeing what'll bite. We just let it drift in the water and see if anything wants to hit it as it's drifting through this water column, through all this rushing water that comes in here into this calm spot. Waiting for all these big predators. I'm not that good at the bait caster yet, guys, so don't judge me too harshly. And there we go, just like that. And just like that, we lose it again. These swim baits do not have the best hooks. These hooks are by far the worst thing about this swim bait, but everything else works perfectly good. It's a paddle tail chartreuse with an orange belly. There's a gar that just surfaced there. That might have been what was hit it. There's all these shad in the water. So they're just looking for these shad swimming and want to come eat it. Swimming along the wall. At this outlet specifically, there's a bunch of walleye in the rocks. So if you work it along the bottom as the current's taking it, you might get a huge walleye. Me personally, I caught a nearly 20-inch walleye here, which is pretty good considering I'm not sure what I'm doing half the time because I'm a crappie fisherman, not a walleye fisherman. Give it a couple of love taps, see if they want to bite. Cast it back out there. Gotta try to work it away from the wall. You don't want it exactly on the wall. And there we go. There's that bite. Something nice and big. It's nice. I haven't. It's a huge drum, guys. Huge drum. This has to be at least 16 inches. At least. Hello, sir. I just want to get this hook out of you real quick and let you free. I'm sorry I'm taking up your time, sir. I just need to get this hook out of your mouth. There we go. You can go free. Just guide him into the water and he should be good. Drum are pretty hardy fish. But you see what I mean? These drum like to hide against that wall, really hug it, and you just gotta guide it away from the wall. If you leave it on the wall, the fish kind of get a little bit suspicious. But you guide it away from that wall, let it kind of drift back towards you, and they come bite it. There we go, there we go, there we go. See, I told you guys. It's another drum. This technique works really well. You just let it drift in these calm currents, and then something will come and pick it up. hate this bait caster for small micro fishing situations, especially finessing these rocks with the fast water for walleyes. So I may turn off my camera to go get my other rod real quick, and maybe I'll look a little more impressive, or I can catch another fish just like that. This is a big one. It may be another drum, however, or it could be a walleye. Nope, another humongous drum, guys. I told you, these drums love to hang out along this wall. This one might be 20 inches here. I'm telling you guys. All sorts of predatory fish love the wall because all these little fish get sucked into these little backwaters here, and they're just waiting to eat and feast. It's a nice drum, or some people like to call it sheep's head. Their mouths are really hard to grab, but sorry man, but I'm gonna have to put you back in the water. Thank you for the fight, big boy. Let him grow big. He should be fine. They're used to these kind of rough waters. And you want to give him a proper send-off, or he's gonna get stuck in these rocks. So you just want to kind of chuck them out there. I've had times where I released the fish just right here and it would come and slam against these rocks. It's way worse than me throwing them out there. Alright guys, I'm back. I've got my green rod, my trusty old green rod. Let's see if we can catch anything else here. If not, we might try the other side of the wall, because if they're not on one side of the wall, they might be on the other. I like to just feel along the bottom here, and just like that, I told you, the walleye and all sorts of fish love to hide under these rocks here on the right side. Not necessarily at the wall, but would you look at that? We caught a white bass. See, I told you, predators don't necessarily. See, I told you, if you release the fish here, they're gonna get stuck just like that. This is why you never release the fish necessarily at your feet, because you're gonna have to get in these situations and get to pull them out of the rocks. Some fish are not very smart and like to get stuck even more under the rocks. But some fish are smart, like this one, who would generously like the help of a human to get them out of these situations. So I will help you to get back in the water, sir. Please? Please? See, fish love to that sort of struggle, but enough encouragement, get them back in the water, get them back to living. See, so you just kind of want to work this right side here. It's got a little more current, but that's where the fish are being blown out to. Not necessarily this wall, but they're being blown out to this little calmer stream here, where their big predatory fish are sort of just waiting underneath the rocks and waiting for the perfect moment to strike your lure, or any bait fish that swim through. So you kind of just want to throw it along these rocks, reel it in slow, try to feel the bottom, try to bump it. As you bump it, the fish will see it, and as they see it, they'll come and hit it. For me, I love targeting game fish, see? And They're just waiting in that column of water. This is a relatively big fish. This may be a gar because I kind of just let it sit there, or a drum. Seeing as how it's fighting, it's most likely a drum, or a, nope, just a drum. Yep. Most of the time in the summertime in these Midwestern states, all you will really find are big drum in these outlets. You're not gonna find some of the major predatory fish that people would like to target, but you will find a whole bunch of drum because they are so successful. They're very successful scavengers along the bottom who prey on worms, clams, whatever they can find down there. They eat corn, anything. They are very fun fish to catch, but they are not to my liking, so I never take them. They're very bony, very nasty fish because they are along the bottom, but they become very huge. As a child, my father caught some of the largest fish I saw, and they were drum. My dad would catch some 30-inch drums, which doesn't seem real, but they are. Drum can become monstrously huge. So, some of these drums are very hardy fish. That's why they're so successful and why they always bite my hook before any other fish. I am truly the drum king. But yes, these fish are an honor to catch every time, so I will not complain. See how big he is? Sorry, sir. See, it's just very awkward holding these types of fish because of their mouth structure, and this one is rather big, so thank you, sir. You have a good one. See, he's messing up my finger really bad. I'm bleeding there, but it's always an honor to catch huge fish. Regardless of species, regardless if I can keep them or not. And just like that, I told you, you just work along that side, get all these fish. White bass. Once again, white bass. I'm telling you guys, it's very easy to catch fish along the spillway wall if you know what you're doing. You just have to work it and work all these different levels of the water column. A lot of people love to only work the top of the water column. That is where I see the most mistakes. At this specific reservoir, I was fishing the same exact outlet in the springtime, catching walleye, cast after cast. However, when I was alongside others, they were not catching it as well, because I was fishing the bottom of the water column while they only fished the top because they were afraid of getting their lure stuck in the rocks. That's why I use braided line. It's not as hard to get from the rocks because you just pull it. You might bend your hook a little, but that's what you get for working these rocks. But it's more worth it because you get to catch the fish when nobody else is working these rocks but you. Just like that, you throw it straight to those rocks and you'll find these huge fish. This one is really big. He's dragging me towards the wall and down towards that fast water. It's a gar. No, it's another drum. I'm telling you guys, drum will always be in these outlet settings because of the food it brings. Another huge drum, 18 inches probably. But it's just a wonder how all these huge fish can be in the same water at the same time. Isn't that kind of amazing? All these 20-inch fish, these are not the same fish I was catching. If it was, you would see all the holes and whatnot, but these fish are all different individuals. Whew. Almost lost my rod there. Sir, I would like to help you. Do not resist like that. I will get you out of here shortly. Get you on your way again. So you can eat lots of delicious little fishies. And not my fishies. Thank you for your time. Have a good one, sir. I'll push him out here in a second. Just let him regain some stamina to get back in that water. And he's ready to go. Thank you for your time, sir. Let's get you back on out there. There he goes. Well, that's a good one. Oh yeah, he's pulling drag. It's another drum. Mr. Drum, Mr. Drum. There are many little rodents here as well along these walls. With these pliers, so I don't injure my hands anymore. Get them all jiggled up. I see some of these are very skinny looking. See, they're just scavengers looking through these rocks and crevices for some shad to come eat. See, they have a hard time swimming out. That's why I like to give them a sort of push out there or throw them out there, because this current's so fast that they can't adjust to it all the time unless they're just thrown out there in the deeper water where they can rebalance themselves and find the current again and the deeper water. See, now my hook's all bent. So I will go try that other side, guys, and I will put the camera on. If I don't catch anything, I won't show it, but this was a good fishing session for this side. Thank you for watching, and I will see you at the next lake. Alright guys, we're making our way to the other side, and it looks really good here. There's signs of fish, there's gar in here, and there's some dead crappie. That means It's probably crappie on this side. So we're just gonna cast it in there and just let it drift on back to us. Reel it in slowly, maybe twitch it a couple times. See if anything's reacted to it. Well, nothing at first. Alright. There we go. That is a drum. Just like the other side. I told you guys, a bunch of drum love to inhabit these outlets, spillways during the summertime. They actively feed all throughout the summer. So they love these spillways as a source of food. Because all those prey items coming out of the spillway. Worms and all sorts of little big fish. I just wish it was a little easier to grab these fish. However, they love to fight you. Alright, let's get them back in the water. Let's catch one more and maybe make our way over to a lake. That is one of my personal favorites. I caught my personal best white bass over there, 18 inches. Pretty much a hybrid at that point. Another drum. These are way too many drum, chat. I do not like handling them. I do not keep them. They are just sport fish until they keep messing up my fingers and my fingers hurt. Like right now, my fingers are in much pain, but I keep catching drum because they're fun. Alright, sir, thank you for your fight. And off you go, sir. Let's catch some fish we can keep. This lake is very well known for their walleye. But no such walleye here today. Another drum. Who would have thought? Thank you for your fight, sir. I will get this hook out of your mouth real quick. If you can hear, they make that noise. That's why they're called the drum. Alright guys, I'm at this beautiful new lake. Let's see what we can catch. This is one of my favorite crappie lakes to go to, because along this dam here, it's a huge grass flat. This grass flat is where the crappie love to hide. And then they'll come to the shallows to feed in the morning. That's why I come right at sunrise and they'll get their bite on. So hopefully we can catch some and have a good pan fry. Let's get it. First, we need to get down these rocks. It's a huge climb to get to this side, but it's well worth it if you can catch them. All of this used to be flooded. All these white rocks means that's where the water line used to be. But these fish should be all nestled near the bottom. This lake is always so beautiful, both the sunrise and the sunset. So even if you don't catch any fish here, you're always guaranteed a beautiful sight to see. It's just always nice just to get out into nature, and even if you don't catch a fish, enjoy the time you have out. Because you're never gonna get a cloud backdrop as pretty as this one.